Hi everyone, this is Aaron from HH Watch Reviews. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will take a look at a new release from Hruodland. The reference number on this one is the F028. So this watch was sent to me for free so I can review it on my channel. But as usual, my reviews are based on my own opinion about the watch and the brands don't have a say in it. They'll see this review at the same time as everyone else. If by the end of this video you're interested in purchasing this watch, I will leave an affiliate link in the description down below. Know that if you purchase this watch or any other watch using my affiliate links, it doesn't add any extra cost to you, but it does get me a small commission. This helps me fund more watches so I can get them for review on the channel. For today's wrist check, I am wearing the Boderry Voyager. This is a full titanium case and bracelet field watch from Boderry, and I absolutely love the combination of that white silvery dial and the darker tone of the titanium. So if you haven't watched my review already, I will leave a link up here and also down in the description. Before we move on with today's review, I'd like to take a moment and ask that you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I know it's a huge ask, but it makes a huge difference in how my videos perform, so I'd really appreciate it if you could press those two buttons down there. I also want to thank those who are already subscribed to my channel. Your support is really appreciated. We have a diameter of 35.6 millimeters, a lug-to-lug distance of 45 to 47 millimeters depending on where you measure it from. The thickness is only 10.8 millimeters. The lug width is supposed to be 24 millimeters, but I measure it at 21 millimeters. Once again, it all depends on what you measure. We'll talk more about that later in the review. And finally, the crown measures 5.6 millimeters. The watch runs on the ST1701 automatic self-winding mechanical movement from Seagull. It has 20 joules, about 40 hours of power reserve, and it beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour. It hand winds, but it doesn't hack, so that means that when you pull the crown to set the time, the second hand doesn't stop. The crystal on this watch is a boxed hardlex crystal. The watch has a screw-down crown and case back, and that allows it to have 100 meters of water resistance. The cushion style case of this watch is very attractive. I'm used to cushion cases from Seiko, but this is the first time I have a watch with this style of cushion case. One of the most popular watches with this style of case is the Panerai Radiomir. I had a chance to see one in person a few years ago, and I remember how comfortable it wore even though it's a bigger watch. So this Hruodland F028 has a smaller cushion case. It measures 35.6 millimeters in both directions, so whether you measure it from left to right or top to bottom, it's the same measurement. It's basically a squircle case shape with rounded corners and soft pebble-like edges. Hruodland went with a bezel-less design here, so basically there's no bezel surrounding the crystal. I really like this look. It adds to the pebble-like look, and the transition from the crystal to the case is very smooth to the touch. And speaking of touch, the entire case is finished in high polish, including the crown and the wire lugs. That means that this watch is a fingerprint magnet, and it also means that it's very hard not to get my reflections on camera. Now flipping the watch over, we have a screw-down case back and some text on it. So the text reads, water resistant to 100 meters, there is the brand name, and custom machinist. Not sure what it means, but hey, it's there. And there in the center, we have the new or alternate brand name, Hruodland Watch Co. I really like the font used here, and I'm glad that they used this brand logo on the dial also. This watch is available in 4 dial options. There is a black dial that looks exactly like the one I have here, but obviously with a black dial and orange accents. There is this white dial that I have. It's actually more of a silver dial, but Hruodland has it listed as white. So this one has red accents. Then there is the blue dial. That one is a fume dial. So it starts with a lighter blue in the center and transitions to a darker blue, almost black on the edges. Everything is printed in white on that dial, so there's no accent colors. And finally, the fourth option. That one is a white, again, probably more of a silver dial, with blue skeleton hands, and the printing on that dial is in blue. The dial is completely different from the other 3 options. So instead of hour markers, it has Arabic numerals for all the hours except for the 6. Everything is printed in the same blue color as the hands. So the Hruodland text logo at the 12 is also very different. It doesn't say Watch Co, just Hruodland, and it's also printed in a different font. If I had to choose my favorites, it would have to be the black dial and the silver dial that I went for. Now the black dial simply because it looks very classy, and the silver dial because I really like the red accents. So the dial design is a crosshair dial with a railroad track around the edge. Usually in the railroad track, we have markings for each 5 minutes, so 5, 10, 15, and so on. But here instead we have 24-hour markings, so 13, 14, 15, and so on. It's a weird choice and one that I don't really like. I would have preferred minute markings or maybe even markings for the hours. But since it's very tiny, it doesn't bother me too much and it's definitely not a deal breaker. So we have two different hour markers. The 12, 3, and 9 have applied Dauphine style markers. They look absolutely gorgeous and really fit this dial design. There's a dual marker for the 12 and single markers for 3 and 9. The rest of the markers are just printed black lines. The design of the hour and minute hands is like a mix of leaf and sword hands, maybe even spade hands. Especially the hour hand that kind of looks like an elongated spade hand. Anyways, it doesn't matter what they're called. They look very good, the proportions are perfect, and they reach the marks as they should. The running seconds subdial is at the 6 o'clock. This subdial is stepped down from the face of the dial. Unlike the main dial surface that has an eggshell finish, the subdial has concentric circles. This creates a nice sunray effect and adds an extra dimension to the dial. The surrounding seconds track is printed in red to match the 24-hour markings on the railroad track, and the second hand is a simple stick-shaped hand. And finally, the only text on this dial is located under the 12, so it's simply the brand name and also the word automatic. I really like the overall look and layout of this dial. The choice of red accents to go with the silver dial really works in my opinion, and the fact that there is no lume applied anywhere on this dial just adds to the classiness of it. I like the font used for the brand name, but I think they could have written just Hruodland and removed the watch co. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. As mentioned earlier in this review, this watch has wire lugs, and it's a bit tough measuring the exact lug width. So Hruodland has it listed as 24 millimeters. But if we look at the strap that comes with this watch, I measure it at 21.2 millimeters where it attaches to the lugs. So it's definitely not 24 millimeters. That was one of my worries when I looked at the spec sheet, because 24mm lug width is kind of wide for a 35.6mm case. Now what's not great is the taper of the strap. So it tapers from 21.2mm to only 20mm, and that's barely visible on wrist. The proportions of the strap just doesn't work with the case design or size. The watch head is small and elegant looking, and the strap is just too wide and it kind of ruins the whole look of the watch. Even the quality of the strap leaves much to be desired, and what makes it even worse is the wire lug design. So the lugs are held with these little screws that you can unscrew from the back of the case. Once unscrewed, they come out of the case and that's how you remove the strap. As you can see, the strap isn't held with spring bars. So I can't just grab any strap and throw it on this watch, unless the hole of the spring bars is wide enough for the wire lugs to fit in. Now, the positive side of having wire lugs is that you can potentially put a narrower strap, and as long as it fits the wire lugs, it might not look too out of place. So I'm gonna try to find a 19mm strap that tapers down to about 16mm, as long as it fits the wire lugs, because my wife actually really likes this watch and she wants it, but she also thinks the original strap doesn't fit the watch and it doesn't look good on her wrist. So if anyone has a strap suggestion, feel free to share it in the comments down below. Overall, I think this is a great watch. It looks classy, the proportions of the case is perfect for this type of watch. The dial, while it has a lot of elements, still looks clean, and I personally find this dial very beautiful. The build quality seems very good. This isn't the first Hruodland watch that I've handled, and I can confirm they all have good build quality. I've already mentioned the things I don't like about the watch, but honestly, the positives outweigh the negatives. So I can easily recommend this watch. And it even gets an approval from the missus, so that's definitely a win for Hruodland. So I'll leave a link in the description down below in case you want to purchase this watch for yourself. Or maybe you want to purchase it for your missus so she doesn't pay too much attention to all the watches you've purchased during the 11/11 sale. Anyways, just an idea I'm throwing out there. So that wraps up my review of the Hruodland F028. As usual, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with a friend or two. And if you want to see more watch content, please subscribe to the channel and click on that notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos. As always, thank you for watching and I'll talk to you on the next one.